Good evening. Welcome to the City Council meeting for Tuesday, July 18th, 2017. May we have roll call, please?
Council members Okerberg,
Here.
Dotson, Burbank,
Here.
Rainey,
Here.
Svenby,
Here.
Voss,
Here.
Schultz, Mayor Kuntz.
Here.
We have 5 of the council and the mayor present.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first order of business tonight is approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Spenby to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Voss. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have a presentation from Mark Fritsch, General Manager of Owatonna Utilities.
I almost need help bringing this up here. I'd like to have the mayor stand, please. It's my great honor and privilege to present a very prestigious award, and it's the Spence Vanderlinden Public Official Award, and it's awarded by American Public Power Association, and it's a very prestigious association. We have about 2,000 communities that it represents, 49 million members, Americans that we serve in 49 states and 5 territories. So it's not a small award, and it's really given to recognize people for the nominees need to have made substantial contributions towards association goals, enhancing the association's national prestige into their communities. So a big impact, and it was really based on the honors Spence Vanderlinden of Harlan, Iowa. He was the first chair of American Public Power Association Public Policymakers Council. And Mayor Kuntz got selected for this, and just some background that really adds to why he was selected. 31 years with Owatonna Public Utilities. Before retiring, he was the general manager. That same year, he was elected mayor of Owatonna, still is mayor of this great city. Having already been an active participant in American Public Power Association events, Mayor Kuntz redoubled his efforts from the perspective of a local policymaker. He joined the association's Policymaker Council in 2006 and served as president chair in 2015. He's also ex officio member of the association's board of directors. He's also served on the board of directors for the Power PAC, and that's the association's political action committee. Regionally, Tom was active with Southern Minnesota Municipal Power Agency, serving on its board from 97 to 98, and its president from 99 to 2001. And so it's a great honor for me to present Mayor Kuntz with this prestigious award. So let's give him a congratulations, please. Thank you for your time.
You know, it is an honor to be able to receive this, and it is an honor to be able to continue on with public power and represent all our citizens in public power and all that public power represents. So thank you, Mark, for giving that to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Congratulations, Mayor. Well deserved. We'll move on to the mayor now, and he's got some recommendations for commissions and or board member appointments.
Thank you. I've got 2 people that have agreed to serve on the Downtown Parking Committee, so I am recommending for council approval for the Downtown Parking Committee, Carly Onstead and David Lindahl.
Dawn,
I'm sorry. I left my glasses at home, so and they're kind of small, so forgive me if I mispronounce something. And for the Park and Rec Board, Pat Fales. So I would recommend those 3 names to the City Council for approval.
It's council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Okerberg to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Svenby. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
If I can get those 3 members to come forward. stand right here so the camera can pick you up. We know who they are, yes. And I'll read it and then just have you repeat after me as we go forward here. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the laws of the City of Owatonna,
the laws of the City of Owatonna,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
as a downtown parking committee member,
as a downtown parking committee member
as a park and recreation board member
As a park and recreation board member
of the City of Owatonna,
of the City of Owatonna,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed,
to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God.
to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God.
Welcome aboard. Thank you very, very much for saying it. Thank you. Thank you. And seeing you have been so kind as to say yes, I will give each one of you a city pin.
Well, thank you very much.
There you go.
I will
Thank
take
you.
your signed oath as well as any.
Thank you for choosing to serve. And the mayor has a proclamation tonight as well.
Yes, National Night Up is coming up in the first part of August, so I have a proclamation that reads, whereas the Minnesota Crime Prevention Association, along with AAA and local law enforcement agencies, is sponsoring a statewide program called Night to Unite on August 1st, 2017. And whereas Night to Unite is designated to get to know one another in your neighborhood, build neighborhood involvement by bringing police and communities together, and to bring an awareness to crime prevention and law enforcement efforts. And whereas Night to Unite supports the idea that crime prevention is an inexpensive, effective tool in strengthening police and community partnerships. And whereas Night to Unite provides opportunities to celebrate the ongoing work of law enforcement in neighborhoods in Owatonna by working together to fight crime and victimization and increase public safety for all citizens. And whereas the citizens of Owatonna play an important role in assisting the Owatonna Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Thomas Kuntz, do hereby call upon all citizens in Owatonna to participate in Night to Unite on August 1st, 2017. Further, let it be resolved that I, Mayor Tom Kuntz, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 1st, 2017 to be Night to Unite in Owatonna. Proclamation dated this 18th day of July. Now, the nice thing about Night to Unite involving our local citizens in our neighborhoods, Owatonna has been privileged to have crime drop in 2016. And if you talk to our police chief and all the departments and the police officers, this is the reason that crime has dropped, because our citizens have become involved and help with the police department to make sure that crime stays away. So, very good program.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll now move to the consent agenda. Consent is different board minutes, event permits, all lumped into one motion. What is council wishes?
Motion to approve the...
Motion by Mr. Okaberg to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Svenby. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll now move on to the action items. Tonight, 3.1, financial report. The bills are as follows. $113,028 to I-State Truck Center. That's for a single axle truck, a tandem truck, and an axle truck. $20,250 to Owatonna Area Chamber of Commerce. That's 95% of the May lodging tax per agreement. $39,117 Steele County Auditor, first quarter LEC shared costs. $24,359 Welch State Bank. That is for an asphalt zipper lease. Other expenditures tonight, $188,766 for a total expenditure tonight of $385,521.62. What are council's wishes?
Motion to approve the bills.
Motion by Mr. Spenby to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Burbank. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Okay, now we're up to 3.2.1, conditional use permit, and we go to Troy on that.
We have a request by Leroy Smith at 622 East School Street to construct a 988 square foot garage with the 200 square foot existing shed on the property. That amounts to a 1,188 square feet in accessory structures. The ordinance allows up to 1,000 square feet. Anything over 1,000 square feet and up to 1,500 square feet requires a conditional use permit, provided the lot size is large enough. In this case, it would need to be over 30,000 square feet, and this lot is over 30,000 square feet. This would be a garage that's designed very much like the house. The house is architecturally designed with somewhat of a flat roof. There would be a slight pitch to get the water runoff, but essentially it's a flat roof to match the house. And so the request is to build a garage and have over 1,000 square feet of accessory structures on the property. We did have a public hearing at Planning Commission. There was no objection from the neighbors, and the Planning Commission did recommend approval, provided that the garage shall be constructed similar to the house and that the accessory structures are not used for any commercial purposes. So staff would recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions from council? What's council's wishes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Burbank to approve. Second by Mr. Voss. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass that. We're at 3.4.1, and that is the preliminary plat of Semco Edition. We'll go to Troy with that one as well.
Okay, this is a request by Semco Properties. It's at 1180 East Frontage Road. It's on the corner of the frontage road, two parts of the frontage road next to Rock of Ages. If you remember, the old highway used to run through here. Used to be a big curve in the road. The highway was relocated to I-35, and much of the right-of-way that was needed for that roadway remained in place. We did some improvements to that section of roadway there that teed it rather than and took that curve out, but much of that right-of-way and a lot of the easements and stuff were still in place. And so the title work, there needed to be quiet title action complete on the property. So the underlying owner of the property went through a long process to get this in a position to where it could be buildable. Prior to this, it had not been buildable. And so with this, there will be a request to vacate that remaining right-of-way. There will be a number of easements as well as public and private easements on the property recorded as part of the plat. The plat will consist of two commercial lots. One will have Rock of Ages on it. The other one will be vacant, and there will also be an outlot platted as part of this that will be deeded to the property to the north, as that property, that building comes right up to the property line in that case. So again, we had a public hearing at Planning Commission, no one objecting to the request, and staff would recommend a preliminary plat approval.
Thank you. Any questions from council? It's council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Oakelberg to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Burbank. Anything else? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. We're up to 3.5.1, amend benefit package, and we will go to the mayor.
Thank you. The City Council did a performance review with Chris Boosie, and she passed with excellent reports, and she is doing a fantastic job. And so we are recommending to the City Council that the benefit package becomes effective 1/1/17, and the city will increase deferred compensation match through payroll deduction from $2,000 to $4,000 per year. The city will increase vehicle allowance from $220 to $320 per month.
Thank you.
and ask for the city council to approve that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions from council? It's council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Burbank to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Okerberg. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Congratulations and thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
We will now go to public comment. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, sign in, and you will have 2 minutes to talk about anything that is not on tonight's agenda.
Can you hear me? All right. My name is Eddie Dibovic. I live at 2260 Condor Place, and we have a problem house, possible drug house. We've been working with local law enforcement here in town, and we just have a lot of problems with this certain house, a lot of traffic. It's just terrible. We've been dealing with it for
4 years.
4 years. And it's getting worse and worse. And we've had a lot of police activity around this house in the last few days, and we're basically fed up with it. We have children, grandchildren.
I have grandchildren. They're endangering the neighborhood by selling drugs.
We have old neighbors that have moved out that didn't want to deal with it anymore, and now we have new neighbors that have no clue or idea what's going on. They just moved in the neighborhood just last week. And the problem is still ongoing.
Probably over 125 police calls in the last 3.5, 4 years.
Okay.
To that residence, 2265 Condor Place.
And the same family has been there for 4 years?
The same individual has been there
Same individual.
for 4
Mommy
years.
and Daddy bought the house for the son.
And vehicles that we've called on, suspicious activity, we have it in police bites and everything else like that on paperwork. Every vehicle that they pulled over or checked on has everybody's had a criminal record behind every license plate that we've had. We've had vehicles that didn't have the right license plate for the right vehicle that are parked in front of the house. Now we have a fire hydrant there, and they seem to park in front of the fire hydrant quite a bit because they can't park anywhere else. They just want to keep close to that particular house. Last night we had an individual on a bicycle run from the police between his house and my house. My house is right next door to this individual's house, and law enforcement lost him because he was on a bicycle.
Constant traffic all day long, in and out of their different cars. They stay for 4 to 5 minutes and they leave. Just long enough to make their purchase.
And that's pretty much what we have. Our 2 minutes is up.
What interaction have you had with our police chief?
We've had meetings with the police chief once, and we've had 2 meetings with the South Central
Drug Task Force. Drug Task
So
Force.
we've had 3 meetings altogether.
We've collected quite a bit of information for them, and they've known some of the people that have visited the house. They've actually had a drug bust at a house that was close to this house. That was just like last year.
So the police know all about the house.
They do, and I guess our local law enforcement, they told us that the individual of this house has filed harassment against the law enforcement agency here in town because they've been bothered so much. And
what bothers me is it's 2 blocks from, it's
the school.
It's going to be McKinley School now. They changed the name. It was the other one.
Willow Creek.
But there are minors that we do see go in the house, and there's nothing we can do about that.
And there's kids walking by that, they're only 2 blocks from the school. There's kids walking right by when school gets out.
Yep.
Many kids walking down 22nd Avenue there.
Yeah. Chris?
Yes,
22nd.
Councilmember Rainey, the city attorney and myself will be meeting with the police chief to see if there's additional measures or things that we can do to address that. So we'll talk to Keith tomorrow and look at, there's another avenue that we can take under our ordinances.
Yes, in our cul-de-sac, we've basically all got together at one time to, keep calling law enforcement, as a community, like in your speech earlier. But this has gone quite long enough for us.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
We're pretty well fed up.
And now we've seen weapons, they've had weapons pulled out of their trunks and stuff. We've seen that. We let local law enforcement know that maybe some people are armed when they're there, so.
When you say weapons, are you talking handguns?
Yeah, sidearms. We've seen shotgun carrying cases and all that. Didn't see the weapon itself, but I've seen sidearms pulled out of a trunk of a car.
In the driveway.
On Condor Place, which house is this specifically? Because I've got it in my mind.
sorry.
You drive in the circle and you just keep on driving straight.
Straight.
And you drive right in the driveway.
That's not my house. My house is the mint green one. That's 2260. The other one is 2265. It's a beige, yellowish beige house or something like that.
Now,
A lot of people won't come down here because they're afraid of retribution.
yeah. Have you talked to the specific district sergeant in that area? I mean, there's action requests,
Well, the thing
obviously.
is they've put down extra patrols at night. The
Okay.
thing is, we know they have a scanner because once law enforcement is notified, they scatter quickly.
Okay.
It is fast.
Okay. And the other suggestion, and it's something that they'll look into for you, is that, if they've had too many calls there, that there is an actual charge for us going there for too many calls of service for police.
That is true. We've probably put in over 200 calls.
In the last 4 years.
And that's
Probably
something
more
that,
than that in the last 4
They know that
years.
house very well.
that's something that they'll look into as far as charging them with that also.
Right. And the thing is, we as neighbors, we don't make menacing phone calls. They break the law because they're constantly making noise at night. The suspicious activity, new people, new vehicles, the length, the duration of time that they're there, standing outside, loitering outside on the driveway, slamming doors, because I don't get a whole lot of sleep with these
Drug
people.
deals in the driveway.
Yeah, I've actually seen
Drug deals across the
that.
street from my driveway.
Well,
Have
we
you been able to
really
film any of
appreciate
it?
you coming in.
I'm sorry?
Been able to film any of the activity?
The thing is, law enforcement, something about taking pictures when, I don't know, they got a law in this town about taking
Yeah,
pictures.
we can't take pictures. I took pictures and they told me to erase them.
The law enforcement agent told him to erase the pictures because the individual complained that he was getting his picture taken. And I actually looked it up in your,
We have a lot of license plates, so
yeah.
Good.
Well, I know that it's not something you want in your neighborhood, and I know we've had it in a couple other neighborhoods too, and it gets to be a real challenge to make sure that we follow the letter of the law to make sure we do something, but we are committed to work with you on whatever we can do to help eliminate that problem in that neighborhood.
Right.
my grandkids can't even ride in the circle because there's cars going in and out
They almost hit his granddaughter, and I yelled at these people. They were like backing out, not even looking, and she was coming around on her bike, and I had to yell at these guys, and they just looked at me like they didn't care.
A 12-year-old riding, they can't even ride their bike.
We'll make sure the chief makes contact with you and figure out if we can develop a plan.
Yeah, and also my wife got assaulted from one of the people next door just last year because they felt like they were making enough noise and crossed over into our property, and we asked them to leave, and one of the females actually got into a fight with my wife and struck her.
We did have one on Sunlight about 4 years ago, and myself and then Councilmember Abraham worked with the neighbors. We had meetings and very similar stories. Single mother lived right next door. Kids couldn't be outside. That's extremely frustrating. I understand that. It took a while, but they finally got their neighborhood back.
Sir, it's been 4 years.
Yep.
We've been trying to get rid of them for 4 years.
Yeah, and I guess I would encourage to aggressively try to get that out of the neighborhood.
We just want a quiet neighborhood.
Yep.
No cars at 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
In and out, slam. He lives right next to it, slamming
Our
doors.
bedroom is right next to the driveway.
Yeah, and that's not asking too much. That's, yeah,
Okay, we will follow up.
thank you, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your
Appreciate
time.
it.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, thank you for coming. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing none, we will go to council comments. We'll start tonight with Mr. Okerberg.
No comment tonight.
Mr. Burbank.
Nothing tonight other than try to stay cool.
Mr. Svenby.
Nothing this evening.
Mr. Voss.
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Mayor.
I suppose I have to say something. I don't want to have you get off by that 7:30 deadline that you tried to establish. So, crazy days coming up. You know, it's very, very important that we as citizens of Owatonna shop Owatonna, and Crazy Days is a great way to do that. So enjoy it, and if you got some extra money and you want to dunk me in a dunk tank, I'll be down there.
All right, thank you. Myself, I told Chris I met with Tim Trulson and the gentleman that is in charge of the Pirate Festival prior to the meeting tonight. One of my concerns was shutting down the trail system during this event. They worked out a way that the trail, while part of it will be shut down, they'll be able to ride the trail from the south, from Lake Colmeyer, and they will stop at Morehouse Park. On the south end of the park, they'll go across the railroad tracks, go down Mill Street, and right next to OPU, and be able to go underneath Bridge Street and carry on. So I'm very comfortable with that. I'm glad that worked out. They're very excited to be coming into Owatonna, and I hope that goes well. With that, Chris.
Just a reminder for our meetings in August. Our first meeting in August will be July 31st. That's a Monday because of the National Night Out. And then our second meeting will be Monday, August 14th. Just a reminder for everyone. That's all I had.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Voss.
Second.
Second by Mr. Svenby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.